My presentation is on literacy education and second language learning for adults, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Education should be inclusive and accessible to students from different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. Both students and teachers need to have special training regarding the value of linguistic and cultural diversity in classrooms. This can lead to improved social cohesion and social justice without discrimination and can result in increased sensitivity and resource orientation towards multilingualism and multiculturalism, and a better understanding of and enhanced awareness about certain needs and challenges related to education in multilingual classrooms, particularly the geographical and social contexts that affect the cognition, personal, and social well-being of the students. More comprehensive and inclusive research on multilingualism and its effect on education is needed, and especially in relation to literacy education and second language learning for adults, LESLLA. The aim of the present study is to fill in this gap and to provide an active voice to students who have valuable suggestions for improvement with respect to promotion of diversity and inclusivity of general education and regarding LESLLA. Here are our research questions. Are future EFL and LESLLA teachers aware of inclusive pedagogy and assessment, issues of diversity, equity, and equality, multilingualism, and multiculturalism in EFL and LESLLA classrooms? Are future EFL and LESLLA teachers prepared to work in linguistically and culturally diverse classrooms? Overall, 16 undergraduate students, future EFL and LESLLA teachers, participated in the study. Here you can see their age range. They are university students who participated in this study. So this study is a part of a larger research project, and the participants of the study were the students of the teaching practicum, which was an EFL methodology course at a public university in Cyprus. As part of their course and action research, they had to prepare lesson plans as well as teach and observe their teachers, their peers. They were also asked to keep reflective journals and complete classroom and peer observation forums as well as self-evaluation forums after their own teaching. They were also given the opportunity to express their views, thoughts, and reflection in blogs and to discuss various issues in class. The students were offered feedback on their teaching by their tutor and peers, which contributed to a community of practice for the program. Here you can see the structure of the course. So first, the students had input from the tutor and instructor, lectures, seminars, and guided learning observations. They were involved in peer observation, lesson planning preparation, teacher practice, self-evaluation, and of course, tutor evaluation. And throughout the semester, they were writing reflection journals and blog entries. The structure and the procedures of the course emphasized the importance of practitioner inquiry and reflective practice. An emphasis was placed on formative assessment in the format of portfolios. The students were able to ask questions about their teaching practice and share their concerns with their tutor and peers. As such, the students' voice and agency were highlighted. The focus of this study is the analysis of blog entries of the future EFL teachers regarding their attitude towards multilingualism, their awareness about multilingual approaches to teaching English, and their views regarding their future teaching career and work in heterogeneous, linguistically and culturally diverse classrooms. The research implemented a narrative inquiry data collection method via blogging, which allowed the students to share their views regarding the inclusive teaching and learning, critical digital literacy, and their professional development via mediational spaces and dialogical interactions. The research implemented qualitative method for data analysis, which allows to explore complex, diverse experiences and perspectives of teachers. According to Birner, a qualitative methodological approach is employed in order to generate knowledge that is socially produced and reproduced via interplay of subjective and intersubjective construction. Qualitative research presupposes analysis, interpretation, and explanation of the data. It also assumes construction of the meaning, considering its complexity, depth, and breadth, context at multiple dimensions. According to Presswell 2007, qualitative research is the investigation of a social or human problem via an inquiry process of understanding, reflection, description, analysis, and interpretation. A spiral content analysis was performed in which the researcher read the written data several times, made notes, revealed topics, themes, categories, and patterns that emerged from the data, and then coded the data. A list of themes with relative examples, excerpts of evidence was then prepared. Finally, an iterative analysis was incorporated to identify and refine the categories and themes and interpret them. Reflexive thematic analysis allowed the researcher to engage with the data obtained via the blogs of the participants. First of all, let's look into inclusive pedagogy regarding multilingualism, diversity, equity, and equality in EFL classrooms. The analysis of the data showed that the students generally have a positive attitude towards multilingualism, even though not all of the participants are multilingual. The participants expressed that they understand the benefits of multilingualism and of knowledge of various languages as shown in the following excerpts. I will read the one of them. I'm not multilingual. I have a very positive attitude towards multilingualism, and I do believe it is a fascinating characteristic to have. I believe to have this in everyday life would be very beneficial for things such as traveling and especially working. I think that it takes a lot of work to be classified as a multilingual, and the individual should be proud of themselves. I have no experience teaching or learning in multilingual class, but I think it would be very cool. Despite the positive use of multilingualism and multiculturalism, the analysis of the data showed that not all of the students are prepared to teach in linguistically and culturally diverse classrooms. The students reported that they need more guidance and support in this respect, as shown in the following excerpt from a student blog entry. I'm not ready to teach in heterogeneous classes because I lack language teaching experience. I would love to watch an example of a teacher teaching in a classroom where there are different kinds of learners, or the language level of the students are different. To see and take notes on what methods and what materials are used in order to teach appropriately. Some of the students reported about their teaching experience and how they manage heterogeneous, multilingual, multicultural students. They also suggested efficient teaching techniques to address the students' needs, as demonstrated in the following blog entry excerpt. The students seem to be more theoretically prepared to face multilingual classrooms, assess students' needs, and create an effective learning process. However, they lack appropriate teaching experience in this field, which is understandable as they are still undergraduate students with aspirations to become successful EFL teachers, which is demonstrated in the following blog entry excerpt. Furthermore, the participants suggested paying attention to student proficiency level, individual differences and capabilities, adjusting teaching methods and techniques, creating a student-friendly environment in class, and lowering the affective filter. The students indicated that they're aware of inclusive teaching and assessment and their importance. They provided different definitions of inclusive pedagogy, considering various factors and variables such as equity and equality, regarding facilities and equipment, inclusion of students with different L1 backgrounds and abilities, level of competence and willingness of the instructors, as demonstrated in the following blog entry excerpt. I will read this. Inclusive education means that everybody has a right to have the same equipment and studying, which means that even like not only immigrants or people with special needs, but also people from lower social classes will have the chance to study at a good university and be equipped with everything needed. An important factor is that teachers who are teaching not only in elite classes, every university has to have well-educated teachers who value their students and their passion about teaching. The role of university policies is essential in defining inclusive pedagogy in higher education. Universities need to build a welcoming environment for all students independent of their origin and status by promoting inclusion and integration for migrant students. As suggested by the participants, social justice and an individualized approach to students are fundamental parts of inclusive teaching. Opportunities for constructive dialogue should be provided between students and their instructors, and collaboration with higher education administration regarding inclusive education, as is demonstrated in the following excerpts. Discrimination against students with special needs, minority, immigrant, refugee students can be overcome by sharing some personal stories of what people have experienced. I think there are some special and social matters that are potentially be playing an important role, maybe the university policy as well. Every university has to offer equal opportunities for all people who would like to study. Discrimination can be overcome, but not in an easy way. Overall, the analysis of the data showed that the participants have a positive attitude towards multilingualism and inclusive teaching, learning, assessment, and feel that they should be promoted. These findings are in alignment with the previous research. I think it is mostly due to university policy and also like social standards. I mean, I have seen from a very young age that all of the students with, special needs or disabilities were always kind of separated from the other people. Yeah, it was not fair. I think that the university environment is more inclusive than at school. I've seen students in the wheelchairs and having fun and having the same classes with other students. I think it's mostly depends on the individuals and how the professors see people with disabilities. I think that both students and professors really should speak together and with authorities and promote inclusive education. The present study aimed to examine students' views regarding inclusive pedagogy and assessment, issues of diversity, equity and equality, multilingualism and multiculturalism in EFL classrooms. The study also aimed to assess students' level of digital literacy attitudes towards online and hybrid teaching and learning and their level of preparation to work in linguistically and culturally diverse classrooms. The findings of this study suggest that the students generally have a positive view of multilingualism and multiculturalism and linguistic diversity in EFL classrooms and LESLLA classrooms. However, the students need more training, guidance, and support regarding actual teaching in linguistically and culturally diverse classrooms, and these findings align with those of previous research. This suggests that there is a need for both theoretical and practical preparation of future teachers for their profession with a focus on multilingualism, which provides further evidence in support of previous research conducted in many international contexts. The study participants also indicated that they are in favor of creating safe spaces for students from diverse linguistic and migration backgrounds, which can promote intercultural communication, legitimize students' multilingual and multicultural identities, overcome negative perceptions of multilingualism, and improve students' academic performance. In their blogs, the participants provided suggestions for efficient teaching methods and techniques, as well as inclusive pedagogy to promote academic success, motivation, and well-being of all students, irrespective of their backgrounds, to support multilingual students and boost their self-confidence and self-esteem and enhance their future prospects. They aim to overcome deficit perspectives of multilingualism in their future classrooms, but they recognize that this will require a significant amount of effort on their part and collaboration with students, colleagues, parents, authorities, and stakeholders. They also express a strong desire to implement their theoretical knowledge in heterogeneous classrooms, even though they are going to face certain challenges. The analysis of the data showed that students are aware of inclusive pedagogy and its benefits for addressing the needs of students in heterogeneous classrooms and providing equal opportunities to all students irrespective of their L1 background, socioeconomic status, level of proficiency, and abilities. The students found that educational equity should be promoted while considering various factors, including students' individual differences and competences, and access to facilities and equipment, as well as teachers' characteristics, teaching styles, and attitudes. The participants also recognized the role of teachers as equity agents in collaboration with the university authorities and policy experts, which is in agreement with a recent study by Chen and Abdullah 2022. The students consider that an active voice for both teachers and students is needed to establish a dialogue to find optimal solutions for inclusive teaching and learning practices in EFL classrooms. There should also be an overlap between EFL teachers' equity-oriented cognition and practice, considering experiential and contextual factors. Equal opportunities should also be given to every student in EFL classrooms with diverse students populations and different educational needs. Discrimination against students with special needs and minority, immigrant, and refugee students should be overcome by proper university policies and an individualized approach to teaching, as suggested by various researchers to enhance students' self-efficacy and their learning outcomes. The present study continues the research initiated by Gao and colleagues, Juan and Ryan, 2020, which highlights the link between EFL teacher cognition and teacher practice for the creation of an equitable and harmonious learning environment in the classroom. Of course, there are certain limitations of the study and implications for future research. Of course, future research is needed in order to compare students' and teachers' views, pre-service and in-service EFL and LESLLA teachers and teachers of other subjects, as well as parents' views regarding different levels of education, primary, secondary, and tertiary in different countries. And of course, we need to implement both cross-sectional and longitudinal research with mixed method approach, with a combination of qualitative and quantitative data collection and analysis. And at this point, I would like to thank you for your attention. And if you have any particular questions, please let me know. Thank you very much. And now I would like to stop sharing and I will stop.